What's good with y'all YouTube? Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be getting into an NDE video. The link to the original video will be in the description. It comes from the creator, the other side of NDE. I think we're going to be exploring our connection to nature. Let's go and get into that video, man.
I had just finished my second year of university in a small town in Northern California. I had had waves of sadness, of depression. I never thought about seeking help. I turned to God, to the divine, asking that I could be taken. The pain was too much. The sadness was too much. I would ask fairly regularly if I could just go. I wanted to go an easy way, a way that was painless. And about 4 days before my accident, I looked up at the sky and said, "Please take me."
Hey, Tribe, gotta be careful what you ask for, Tribe. It is stated that sometimes even though you may think that you have control over these situations, you don't, because it's just a path that you have to travel to learn a certain lesson.
I was in the redwood forest, which was right behind the school where I was attending. I was mountain biking. I had gone into that forest. I knew the trails. I was coming down the hill. I took a few jumps, and it was the last jump that I took. I had noticed exactly when I had taken the jump that somebody had built this jump up. And as soon as I hit it, I just had a sense, a knowing that I was dead, that I was gonna die at that moment. I came down on my front tire. It was my handlebars, then my head. I hit the ground, and then it was my back. And it was a big thump, and I was out. I was floating above the redwood trees. I would say that I was just above them, but also kind of within them as well. The sense of who I was at that time wasn't anything like my body was there, like an astral type projection. It was more of just this awareness, and I could see and I could feel. I noticed that there was a really deep peace and calm that I felt. I could see the colors of the trees, the clouds, the fog, the sky. I could also sense some of the different elements. The wind was moving through this part of me. I could hear the ocean that was 5 or 10 miles away. So my sensation in this place was extremely heightened. I remember looking down at my body and seeing that part of me, my body, dead, laying on the ground, maybe 15 feet or so away from the jump. And I remember just looking down and just contemplating, knowing that was me, but it wasn't really me. It was my body dead on the ground.
I noticed with these NDEs, it's like a disassociation with the body, right? They kind of see it as themselves, but then they kind of don't. Is the body a tool, just an extension of your higher self, extension of your spirit, and it's just a tool, nothing more, nothing less? That's the question.
I felt in this space so much better than I had previously in my body experiencing all this depression. I felt a familiarity with myself as consciousness, or whatever you would call it. I felt this incredible peace. As I was experiencing this peace, this question came up, and it didn't come from any particular being or God or angel or anything. It was like a knowing within me that came up. Do you want to go further, or do you want to go back? And I already knew the answer. The instant answer was, I don't want to die. As soon as I said, I don't want to die, I was back in my body. And saying I don't want to die is what woke me up into my body that was down on the ground.
You know how like you play GTA or any video game, you know, you hop on the game, your character wake up, you say, okay, it's time to get out the game. You get out the game, your character lay back down or go to sleep, you go do what you gotta do. I see life like that. When you think about it, right? He said he was asked if he wanted to go back, and he said yeah. It's like when you're in a game and you die at a certain point in the game, right? And it asks you, do you want to go back to your last checkpoint? Do you want to continue where you at, or do you want to quit? To me, it's like the same thing, Tribe. I don't know, y'all tell me what y'all think, man, but I really look at this life down here as similar to like the video game, like, but your higher self is really controlling this body right here, this lower self, right? That's why I said disassociation with the body, and the body is just a tool. I don't know, Tribe, you know, that's just me, you know what I mean, musing and thinking, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I was trying to bring myself back. I felt incredible pain moving through my whole body. I couldn't move. I felt this electrical pain moving through me. At that moment, I began to open my eyes. It was like the only part of me that could move. They were a little bit fuzzy. I began to have this experience where I noticed fairies coming down from the trees, little fairies with wings.
I think the man was actually seeing fairies, or y'all think the man was hallucinating? To be honest, I've seen these beings before, not fairies. I've never seen a fairy, but I've seen beings that are not of this world. I don't know if they are this world, but what we would consider not of this world.
They were circling me. They were flying around me in different patterns. And then I also heard this ringing sound, and my attention went to the trees, and I felt this, I heard, and I also felt moving throughout my body, this tone, almost like a Tibetan singing bowl. And I knew that it was the trees communicating with each other and with me and healing me. So I was experiencing this incredible experience as I'm laying in my body, really unable to move. And
this is just a theory of mine. Trees live life at a faster pace than us, but to us, the time seems slowed down. That's why they live for so long. The trees communicate with each other and they take care of each other through the mycelium network. So the trees are conscious.
I remember as I was taking a few breaths, I was brought back into that awareness of the pain, really unbearable pain. And then I was out once again. The next thing I remember, doctor was standing over me. I heard him saying, "You're very lucky and you didn't break anything." So he was repeating this to kind of wake me up. And I remember looking up at him and him asking me a bunch of questions like, "What's your name?" I didn't know that. "Where do you live? What's your phone number? Are you a man or a woman?" I didn't know any of these things.
They gotta be messed up, boy. You don't even know if you're a male or female.
For a long time, I didn't know why I came back because I was still experiencing this depression. In fact, the emotions that I was pushing away, the depression and the sadness, presented to me as if it was something within me that I really needed to heal. I know that it was that part of me that was above the trees that knew what was best for me, and it wasn't my time. So that's my explanation why I decided to come back. And when I did come back, I sensed for a while that there was a new part of me that came back, or the real part of me that had come back more in my body. And I know this because when I was floating above the trees, that became more apparent as I was healing my body. What I would call deep empathy, be able to sense and feel on a very deep level, not just what's going on with other people, but what's going on with animals and plants and trees and the earth. To be able to feel that on a very deep level. It was an incredible transformational experience. My gifts maybe didn't come back right away.
Most of the NDEs that we watch and that I've seen, when people leave and they come back, they always come back and they recognize a gift. They develop a gift. Now, to me, I don't think it's something that they go back and they come back with. I think it's something that we all have. It's just we don't understand it, that we have it, because the world brainwashed us into thinking that there's nothing so-called supernatural about us. We don't have these superpowers that they put on in the movies and stuff like that, but we don't know we have it. But when they leave and they come back, they understand that they have it and they develop it. I think that's something that universal that all humans have, and we don't never develop it because of the current world that we live in. It's like this man connection to nature. He rediscovered his connection to nature. Well, a lot of us don't understand that we have a connection to nature because a lot of us think that nature can't talk and that nature is things that are dead, like trees. They think the trees don't communicate, dogs don't communicate, fish don't communicate, but they actually can. We just don't take the time to listen because we believe that they can't communicate with us. So that's what I think, Tribe. What y'all think, man? All right, Tribe, that's the end of that video. The underlying lesson that we have to take from it is that we all have a connection to nature and that we need to restore it, man. So y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, and share the video. And we'll have more content like this coming, man. So, hey, appreciate y'all watching with me, man. I'll holler at y'all next time, man. Peace.
You got to win, child. Yeah, you got to win. You got to win. You can't lose. Don't give in. You got to win, child.